Tonight, animal abuse on America's farms. You've seen the video, undercover exposés shot by animal rights groups. The images, like the ones we're about to show you, are so graphic, we have to warn you, they might be difficult to watch. In Ohio, for example, calves crammed into cages barely bigger than their bodies, some of them too weak to stand. In Iowa, chickens thrown into bins so violently, workers say their legs and wings sometimes fall off in the process. Over the past several years, hidden camera investigations like these have led to massive recalls of contaminated eggs and meat, sometimes even criminal convictions of the workers responsible. But now the industrial farmers, well, they're fighting back. They say these so-called whistleblowers are the real criminals. And with the support of lawmakers in Florida, Minnesota, and Iowa, all big agricultural states, they're pushing to ban videos and photos taken without their permission. Legislation in the works would also make it illegal to lie on a work application to get into these agricultural facilities. Keeping them honest, why doesn't big agriculture want you to see how it operates? In a statement to AC 360 today, the Iowa Poultry Association said, quote, "Our intent has never been, nor will it ever be, to stymie the reporting of true abuse or neglect. Instead, the association insists it's protecting the world's food supply from extremists determined, it says, to end animal farming once and for all." Just moments ago, I spoke with Jane Velez-Mitchell. She's the host of HLN's Issues with Jane Velez-Mitchell and with CNN legal analyst Sonny Hostin for a closer look. Jane, to you first. Proponents of this Iowa legislation say, no, it's not about stopping whistleblowers from reporting abuses. It's about keeping people who misrepresent the true purpose of the farmers from getting hired and to stopping them from using access to make videos, which these proponents claim they end up using for fundraising purposes.
Oh, that's absolute nonsense. The fact is, we need to be asking, what are these people trying to hide? Why are they so desperate to keep cameras out of these factory farms? And I'll tell you why. Because they don't want the American people to see what's really going on. It is America's secret shame. Almost 10 billion farm animals raised and killed for food every year in horrific conditions. This is institutionalized torture and institutionalized sadism. John, it's so bad you can't even show much video of it. Most people have no idea. They think, oh, babes rolling in the hay somewhere in some barnyard. No, pigs are kept in gestation crates the size of their bodies, never able to turn around, even scratch themselves. They have intelligence comparable to dogs, and they become psychotic. Now, this is what they don't want you to see. What's really going on in these factory farms is a crime.
And so, Sonny, when you hear the passion like that, let's break down the legal arguments here. A long history in this country, going back more than a century, undercover investigations. Sunlight is the greatest disinfectant. A lot of these investigations reveal abuses in agriculture. However, these farms also have private property rights, do they not? Is this constitutional?
Well, I think it probably isn't constitutional, actually. I think the free speech of the American people to know what's going on, to talk about what's going on, is really, really implicated here. Bottom line is there are laws against people editing inappropriately. There are laws against slander. There are laws against defamation. So the premise of this bill is that they're saying the reason we need it, John, is because people are editing things. People are lying. Well, there are laws about that. So I think the very premise of these bills are really disingenuous. Why not then sort of up the ante for people that do this sort of disingenuous editing? Instead of doing that, there's a lack of transparency here with this bill. They're saying even if what is being filmed is accurate, it would be illegal to do that. That is troubling. It's troubling not only for whistleblowers, it's definitely troubling under the First Amendment. I have a real problem with what's going on here.
So you're both very, very passionate about this, and that is obvious. Jane, let me play devil's advocate for a second. Don't the farms have rights here, including to protect themselves from potential fraud?
Look, imagine if there was a nursing home and there was elderly abuse going on. Wouldn't you want to be able to get a hidden camera in there? Imagine if there was a daycare center and there was child abuse going on. And remember, the USDA inspectors, they're falling down on the job here. The Hallmark slaughterhouse in 2008, it was the HSUS undercover cameras that found out that they were pushing down cows with forklifts to slaughter in violation of the law because down cows have a higher likelihood of having disease, including mad cow disease. It wasn't the USDA inspectors who were standing right there who figured that out. That resulted in the largest beef recall in U.S. history for human health. So animal cruelty and threats to human health. There are two things we have to think about here. We, the American people, deserve to know what's going on inside those factory farms, and shame on them for trying to keep us out.
Well, that last point Jane makes, Sonny, is the case that Iowa State Senator Matt McCoy, a Democrat, makes. He says a bill like this could set a dangerous precedent. He says, you know, does he have a point? Could it open the door then to abuses that we don't uncover that jeopardize food safety?
I think there's no question, because we know as a result of these undercover investigations that Jane just mentioned, certainly there have been food recalls, certainly there have been abuses of animal cruelty that have been uncovered. So I think there's no question that there is real value to these undercover investigations. And again, the First Amendment certainly is implicated. Why not be good corporate citizens? Why don't the farmers want us to be there? Why not be transparent? When there is this lack of transparency, that is where the problems lie. That is, I think, the real crime here.
Sonny Hostin, Jane Velez Mitchell, thank you.